Republican Senator James Lankford of the great state of Oklahoma, vice chair of the Republican Conference and member of the Homeland Security and Intelligence Committees. We will talk politics in a moment. Let's talk about this peace deal. And I hear you take a deep breath there and exhale. The whole world feels that way.
It's such a big deal. I was sitting in a meeting last night talking through some Middle East issues when the message came out from the president. One of us stopped to be able to read out loud. I literally said out loud, hallelujah. And then I thought, that's all I'm going to post is to be able to repost the president's message with just the word hallelujah on it. It is such a big deal. I cannot imagine what those families have faced for the past 2 years and what those hostages have dealt with day after day after day. For them to be able to be home is such a big deal.
Well, and it's a big deal for the United States to have been part of a process that could not be done. 728 days of war after the Hamas terrorists broke into the sovereignty of a nation and slaughtered people.
Right. 1,200 people were killed, over 4,000 people were injured, 251 hostages taken at that time. It's led to 2 years of war where Hamas continues to hide behind civilians and to protect their own terror network with children in front of them. So to be able to see the end of that for the Palestinian people in Gaza, to not have to live in fear all the time that Hamas is going to do something else to them and is not going to put them in harm's way anymore is such a big deal for the people of Gaza and for the people of Israel and the whole region.
Well, and in the United States, Senator, the last year and a half or so, we have seen things that we never thought we'd see. So anti-Semitic, from the protesting, some of it turning violent, rioting, so on and so forth, and just the pure hate that's been put on display. And I don't want to leave out Capitol Hill and some Democrats. What are your thoughts?
We've seen it. Now, I would tell you a couple of years ago, I started raising the issue before October the 7th, 2023, of saying, hey, we're seeing rising anti-Semitism on our college campuses. And I had multiple people say to me, oh, no, it's not bad. It's not that bad. And then so help me, right after October the 7th, we begin to see all these anti-Semitic protesters yelling from the river to the sea, clearly saying they want genocide for all Jews that are in there and the wiping out of the Jewish nation on that. To be able to see that spread across so many of our liberal campuses was just evidence what was kind of there beneath the surface. I'm very proud to be able to say the president's pushed back very hard on those campuses and said you will not allow anti-Semitism to be able to run Jewish students out of our campuses here in America.
That is prophetic that you saw that coming.
I work on anti-Semitism a lot. So this is an issue I've worked on for years. I partnered with Jackie Rosen. Oh yeah. You could see it just building in different protests that were happening on campus, acts of intimidation for Jewish students that was happening on campus. Again, TikTok and other entities like that, the social media and the algorithms that are set up. If you ever go into anti-Semitic places, you're just going to get more and more and more and more and more, and it's just driving people deeper into that.
Let's talk about the possibilities now. And you know, part of that 20-point plan will be to restore not just order, but structurally the lives of people who live in Gaza right next to our strong ally Israel, which is what you want.
Sure it is. Sure it is. You need people that, even if they disagree, to be able to live at peace with each other next door. And that was something that Israel had focused on for years. They were out of Gaza, not engaged in Gaza for years. And then suddenly the terrorists crossed through the fence line and began to be able to slaughter their neighbors on that. So to now have the opportunity for Saudi Arabia, for instance, to normalize with Israel in the days ahead, and for them to be engaged in the rebuilding of Gaza, to say, let's make this a place where terrorism is not taught to children. To be able to learn your faith is one thing. To be able to learn acts of terrorism is something entirely different. So for Saudi Arabia, for the UAE, for other partners in the region to be engaged to try to bring a peaceful situation there will affect the entire Middle East.
Look, we're awaiting a cabinet meeting. It will be the 8th time that President Trump will meet with his cabinet. I said off the top of this hour, it'll surely be a very special meeting today. And ahead of that, I would say this. When I saw the video of the opposition leader in Israel, Yair Lapid, reaching out across the aisle, so to speak, and I look at, not that I'm comparing the experiences of what these things deal with, but the juncture where we are on the Hill in America, where the two sides can't seem to come together, one side vilifying the other. I mean, I've seen some things come from the left in the last 48 hours, all of it on video, that are really disturbing. If you can get opposition to lean in a world away, and our American president helped that happen, Why can't that happen in this country among all of those on Capitol Hill?
I can. If someone would have told me a week ago we would have peace in the Middle East before we had the government reopened in the United States, I would have never believed it, because you think that's so far-fetched and it's so incredibly difficult. The issue we're dealing with, the government shutdown right now, it's not a hard issue. 4 times during the Biden administration, in late September, we did a continuing resolution just to be able to keep it open, keep the negotiation. We've done this year after year, but now for Democrats to be able to say, no, we need to be the resistance. Everything that Trump says yes to, we need to say no to, creates this environment where you can't even talk to each other because it's just an immediate no.
Yeah, I've spent some healthy time on the Hill in the last 24 hours, will again today. It is palpable. Are you close?
I think we are closer. There's a group of Democrats that are saying, okay, people are not getting paid now. Military won't get paid on next Wednesday. IRS, if you call in right now, you can't get an answer because so many people are on furlough. There are so many palpable things that are occurring right now across the country. Several of my Democrat colleagues are saying, let's reopen, let's keep negotiating. And we've said, yes, that's what we've said all along. Literally what Speaker Johnson brought was a nonpartisan proposal to say, just keep the government open, no partisanship in it. Let's keep negotiating.
Senator Lankford, thank you for being with me today. That cabinet